Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today we are doing a video, and it's not a weird one, but it's a new one. Alright, we're having a new topic. So, have you heard of Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts? I mean, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Everyone has heard of this show. Everyone's treating it like it's the next Avatar. I don't see it personally. I think this show is overrated. Boo boo. Wait. Unsubscribe. Oh, I'm naked. Oh, guys, wait. Hear me out. I'm sorry. What the heck is going on with my phone? I don't even know what's happening. Help me. Okay. Whew. Breathe. Breathe. Let me get a chance to explain myself and why I think of the show this way. By the way, footage here is gotten from Sarcastic Chorus. Go subscribe to his channel. I'm not original enough to come up with my own footage. Alright, so let's officially start the video. Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. For those 10 people who live underground, it's a show about the Earth in an Wait, am I holding? I'm naked. I was naked for a brief second. I was wearing my underwear over my pants. Okay. It's a show that is about the Earth that takes place in an apocalyptic world 200 years in the future. And where animals are now mutants. So some can talk, some are big, that gist. It's a DreamWorks Netflix show. So it's another DreamWorks Netflix show. And yeah, so, that's basically a plot of the show. We have these group of teenagers who have to survive the apocalypse, that being giant animals running around or small animals who can talk. You get the gist. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, it's a DreamWorks Netflix show, and DreamWorks and Netflix, they do make a lot of good shows together. All Hail King Julian, Captain Underpants, Troll Hunters. So like, yeah, they have made a lot of great shows in the past. So thought we might give the show a watch. Now, personally, I was a bit late to the Kipo train. What happened is I watched the first season, and once I was done with it, I found out season 2 was coming out 2 weeks later. When in reality, the first season came out in January, and season 2 came out this month. So yeah, so I decided why not review it. Everyone, and here's the funny thing: no one was talking about season 1, but then when season 2 came out, everyone is talking about season 2. So I figured, why the hell not? Might as well talk about Kipo. To me personally, just shows just okay. I'm not even gonna say anything. Let's start the review. This is one of the most confusing shows I've ever had to review. So let's start at the beginning. Let's start with season 1. So mind you, I'm gonna separate my season 1 and season 2 reviews. I'm not like gonna put them in different videos, but I will put them in different categories. So I'll talk about season 1 alone, then I'll talk about season 2. Because if you ask me, these two seasons are completely different from each other. All right, without further ado, let me stop stalling and talk about Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast season 1. So so we have the good, the bad, and the mixed. What do I think of the good? I like the animation. It has this mix of anime and Western animation. It's not like anime inspired, because if it was, it would be like shows like Totally Spies and Avatar: The Last Airbender. For me, this show it's more like a hybrid of the two. It took Japanese animation, like with the backgrounds and the textures and such, and then mixed it with Western animation with the designs and the movements and such. I don't know. I really do like the bond. To me, the animation is possibly the strongest part of season 1. And next is the world building. I really do love the world building here. I like how we go to different locations, meet new villains, meet new meet different monsters and such, and it's all really cool. I really love the world building and the way they expand on it episode after episode after episode. Mwah, perfect. If anything, aside from the animation, the world building is also the best part of this show. I just really love the world building, and in both this season and the next season, I feel like they do it really well. This season, it focuses more on the world the characters are in, whereas in season 2, it focuses more on the characters themselves. So while this one does world building, the next season does character building, which I guess shouldn't be the case. It should be the other way around, but whatever. I live with it. I do like the designs of the characters. Some of them are a bit like weird, like why the hell does the pig have 4 eyes? Some of them are creative, like Dave, the giant bunny. They're kind of creative like that. Some of them you just wonder why they did it, like with the pig and such. Like I still don't understand why Mando is blue and has 4 eyes. It just doesn't make sense. The fact that the frogs are mafia is honestly some of the best thing I've ever seen. And yeah, so I really like the designs of the characters. Kipo looks like an anime girl put in an American TV show. Let me just say that for a fact that It's as if Kipo was designed to be an anime. But then, like, they just looked at her and they're like, "Now let's put her in an American show." Like, you could like just look at her design. Look at that. Why the hell is she pink? You know. So like, I feel like she was just meant. Like, it was just the first thing they did when designing her was the first thought that came into their mind was, "Oh yeah, she gotta be an anime girl." Then put her in an American cartoon. It's just so weird. And then we go into the mixed. The characters. I wasn't in love with all the characters. Kipo for sure is the beginner one. She is she rides this fine line of being naive and dumb, and this is a line that a lot of screenwriters have issues with. Like, look at the movie, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Yes, I know it's an old movie, everyone forgot it, but like, look at Sherman. He's naive, but he's not dumb. SpongeBob, he's both naive and dumb. Kipo is this she rides that fine line in between the two where it's really hard to differentiate because she's educated, but in the next minute she's like really just doing weird things. She's like so naive. And it doesn't help matters that she's also the manic pixie dream girl. You know, she's always happy, always spunk, and I'm like, so this is our main character, huh? Then the second season does really improve her character, but for the first one, it was just kind of it was a bit annoying to like be on her side 24/7. Again, the second season really does wonders for her character, but for the first season, it's just. And mind you, every villain she comes across, she immediately changes. Like, the Earth has been dead for 200 years, and literally every villain she comes across, she just like, boom, she immediately turns them. She immediately makes them good guys. And I'm like, no one else thought to do this. It's just, God. Yeah. It's not like she was annoying, she was just a bit too much for me, is the problem. It's not, I mean, like, literally, happiness was emanating from her very skin. She's pink. Why the hell is she pink? I mean, it gets answered, but like, why the hell is she pink? Was a question that was in my mind for like the whole first season. Um, so that was the mixed. The other characters I wasn't also in love with them. Benson, he was whatever. Dave, he literally only gets character development in like the last episode. Wolf, we do get to see her backstory. I like Wolf; she's one of my favorite characters, and we get to see a bunch of the villains as well. I said before, I like the villains; they were pretty good, but some of them were like forgettable. Like I can only remember two, those being the frogs and Scarlemagne. Scarlemagne doesn't even show up until like the last three episodes, so he doesn't even count. But I really like the Frog Mafia. My favorite character in the entire show, Jamak. He's just like so self-aware and sarcastic about everything. I just love it. He's just got this cynicism to him. I just love Jamak. He's awesome. Um, like if you want to watch this show, just watch it because of Jamak. And yeah, that was my mix of the good and the bad. The characters are honestly in right in that fine line of being either good or bad or forgettable. Then we have the bad. I don't have a lot to say about the bad because like not a lot of it comes to my mind immediately. It's just the final episode. To me, the last episode of season one really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why, but I really hated the last episode of season one. It just angers me. I'm just like, you can do so much better than this. And yeah, I didn't like that last episode. It was just trying to cram too much stuff into one, as if they're like, oh crap, will we even get a season two? Let's just throw everything in there, you know. And yeah, I didn't like the season one finale. We also had a bit of filler episodes. Like there was one with the raccoons. That to me, I was like, why is this here? Was it just to fill time so you could get to the 10 episode mark? I really, a lot of people say they love the raccoons. I'm just like, why do we need this? It's really unnecessary. Um, there was another point I was going to make. I don't know why. Oh, cliches. Yes, if you want cliches and cringe, this show is chock full of them. Second season included. Like there's like so many cliches, but on top of that, the cringe is so bad. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how many episodes I've cringed. I have cringed so hard I had to skip ahead so that I could just avoid being physically hurt by this show. This show really knows where to hurt you. It's so cringy, and at points it just gets so cliche. And mind you, this came out in 2020 January, the time when cliches should be put to bed. It's weird. Okay, it's weird. I'm not a big fan of it. Overall, what I would think about Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast season one is that for first season, it really does get the show off the ground. It does the most important thing by doing world building. Most people would focus on character development, which is also not wrong, but I feel that by focusing on world building, you've already given yourself a foundation. Then the characters are like ground one. I mean level one. So to be, I feel like you did kind of justify yourself over there, and I did again. I really love the animation. The characters are all good. Wolf and Jamak are my favorites. Wolf, I just love her backstory, and it's surprisingly dark. Even like it makes you think, did she actually kill like her sister and then wear her as a hood? That's kind of crazy, man. And and the bad again, the cliches, the cringe, the final episode, it's weird. Overall, what I would give Kipo season one would be a 7 out of 10. I think it deserves that, like a 7 out of 10. It's a six on a bad day, but really as an intro to a show, it really does its job well. It just there was like a filler episode here, a bad episode there, so I feel like a 7 out of 10 really is just worthy for it. Otherwise, if I call it season six, it'll just be like an average show. And I know to all of you, if I call this show average, you'll all kill me. Everyone's treating this like it's the next Avatar. God. Anyways, moving on to season two. DreamWorks, I swear to God, if you copyright my video, I will kill you. Anyways, Kipo season two. Oh boy. You see, the reason I avoid reviewing DreamWorks shows entirely just they copyright me all the time. That's why you haven't seen things like what's this Puss in Boots or King Julian. I'll get to those in the future, including Green Eggs and Ham. I promise I'll do that in the future. All right, Kipo season two. Good, bad, and middle. The good is the characters. I feel the characters have been greatly improved on this season. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, I don't think they've been improved that well. But now looking back, I can't say that a lot of them have improved. Dave has learned to be more confident with himself. By the way, for all of you who haven't watched the show, yeah, I'm not apologizing. I'm just gonna say random things because basically at this point everyone has watched the show. Dave, he's learned to be more confident and to stay in a strong form. Wolf has learned to ask other people for help. Um, we also get to see her backstory of how she's a survivor, so that was pretty cool as well. What I also noticed with this season is that it will dedicate a few episodes to each of the main characters to see what makes them tick. Wolf had an episode with the Scorpions, the Deathstalkers, whatever. Benson had an episode with the Bats. Dave and Mandu had like an episode with the giant fungus thing. In fact, it was a part one, part two kind of thing. Not to mention we even had Mandu fighting Dr. Emilia, so that was crazy. And what else do we have? It was and Kipo. Kipo, obviously, this is like half season, but it's whatever. Where do I even start with this season? There's actually a lot of good to cover. Let's just start with the beginning. Kipo is a half jaguar, or she's a half mutant jaguar. It was a really cool twist. I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. Okay, well, we saw the fur from season one, but I don't think a lot of people saw it coming that her parents like injected her with jaguar DNA. I'm gonna get on the parents in 1 second. Just let's put that in the corner for now. I won't make a separate video on it because if I do, I'll just be here forever. Uh, I another good thing is the world building. Again, the world building is just as good as season one. We get to go to all these crazy places and such. It's amazing. Back to the characters, we have like an episode with the goats. The goats were amazing. I just love the goats. They're crazy. The first episode on its own was really good. It really did a good job reintroducing us back to the season. By the way, back to the show. By the way, if you watch this season without watching season one, the show has no apologies for you. If you get lost, you are stuck forever. You have nowhere to go. You have no friends. You will forever be lost. And as you can see, like I'm just jumping in between things, even though I have this category thing. Where do I even start? Okay, the world building. It's really good. We get to go to more places, see more crazy characters. There was this like crazy part one, part two with a fungus. I wasn't in love with it. I thought part one was. I mean, it was as cliche as it can be. If this show came out like in the early 2000s, you would not be able to think it was a mid 2000s. If it was a 2020 show, in all honesty, it's crazy like that. Because like the first part was like so cliche, where almost nothing happens. Then the second part, that's where you're like, oh yeah, this and this happened. Oh yeah, I get you now. And I'm like, that took forever. What else can I say? So the world building, it's really good. I really like the new locations and places we go to. Though we don't go to as many as we did in season one, so I guess you can't say it's better. But there was this like cool episode with a restaurant and like the shrimp owned it. That was pretty cool. I like that. It was a very entertaining episode. You can guess why. Jamak was in it, and poor Jamak was only in this season for like one episode. So sad. But Jamak, you're back, man, and he's gone again. Dang it. What else did I like? I like the characters. Again, I feel like every single character got a chance to be built up, except for, in my opinion, Benson. Benson, to me, he's kind of been stagnant since season one. I mean, unless you call him being like the backbone of the team, then yeah, I guess that we had a bit of character development from him because like every time someone on the team has a problem, they would like go to Benson for help or like go to Benson for advice or consolidation or counsel or something like that. Benson would always be the the therapist of the team, but I don't know if like that's such a huge character development as to where he what left off from season one. So it's whatever. Again, Dave learned to be more confident. Good for you, Dave. Kipo, I'll get on Kipo because she's the main character. Wolf learned to humble herself and ask people for help or apologies or things like that. And Kipo, again, she found out she's a half jaguar, and her character development is the most mixed to me in the show. If I start talking about Kipo, I'm gonna be here forever, so let's just get it over with. Kipo, she finds out she's like a half jaguar kind of thing, and then when she does, she like asks her dad, and her dad tells her, "Oh yeah, before you were born, we turned you into a jaguar." And she's like, "Oh, that is so cool. That is the coolest thing ever." And I'm like, "What the fudge? Your parents already planned out your destiny for you to become like some jaguar thing to protect your home, and you're like, that's the coolest thing ever." If I was told I was gonna be a guard dog for my home, that would be like pretty weird to me. I don't know what I'd say about it. Um, it's just weird. I honestly don't know how I can get behind it. It's just weird. She's still her happy dream girl self, except we have a few episodes where like they allow her to cry. They allow her to digest the situation. She cries about it. The episodes where she gets upset, and I really like it. Skylar Main is now like the main point of this season. Like he's now the main villain, and one more, he's like even like a main character. Like he's up front and center. We get to see Skylar Main's turn to be a villain. We get to see how he becomes a villain. But his turn to be a villain, it's like it was like so simple, and at the end you really like believe it. And hell, you even feel. Guess what the episode is called? Sympathy for the Mandrill. You honestly feel sorry for this guy and all he's been through. It really like you really feel for Skylar Main. Like 1 minute he's the villain, next minute he's actually a sympathetic villain. You wonder whether he's gonna turn or not. There's honestly a lot of good with this season that really improved upon the last season. Uh, Next, I guess I could say would be the dad, Leo Keeper's dad, Leo. He's a sick father. He injects his kid before she. By the way, Keeper's parents, they're sick people. How do you inject your own child really before they're even born? God damn you guys, it's honestly kind of annoying. The mom turned out to be the mega monkey the whole time. It's crazy. I really like that. And to cap all things off, before I just pass out from talking too much, the message of the season was really good. Is that there's some people who you can turn to being good people, and there's some people who refuse to be turned, or at the very least, they want to be your number one priority, and you feel that you can't be that priority for those people because you have other priorities to handle that are more important. And it turns out that you are honestly gonna have to disappoint some people in order for you to do what you think is right. And that's a really good message for this season. Whereas I don't even know the message of the last season, so I really did like the message of this season a lot. Um, what else can I say? Let's talk about the mix because I'm really tired of talking about the good. There was actually more good to this season than I gave it credit for. Let's talk about the bad. The bad of this show. I mean, the mix. The mix of this show is the animation. What this show did is that now, since it's obviously a more edgy season, it decided to have most of its scenes take place at night. This is honestly the worst decision you could make, because now at night we get two colors. We get purple and green. This is the worst combo you could come up with. Yes, it's a girl show about girl power, some girl being the main character, whatever. But like, what they did is it's they made the night sky purple, and then they gave the characters like shades of green so we could see them. And if you ask me, that's the worst thing you could ever do. Purple and green do not make a good combo. When are you going to learn this? Because now like Kipo starts to blend in with her backgrounds, which is annoying, and the other characters, Dave especially, who's green, it doesn't work well. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. I don't know why you're insisting. The animation overall, it's still good. Like it still carries on what made the first season good, but like God, it's just it really irks, it really rubs me the wrong way when I get to like just see green and purple. It just no, just no. Which is why I guess the fungus episode was better looking because like they adopted the color orange. But again, this is the same company that made Green Eggs and Ham, a show that was really colorful. It had colors like yellow, orange, green, brown, all those colors just into one. And then this one does this. having its primary colors be purple and green, and sometimes a shade of red, but I doubt it. And yeah, damn it, I really don't like it. Um, the bad. What bad do I have for this season? Not really a lot. The cringe moments have died down. I think there was like maybe one or two episodes where I really like cringe, so it wasn't as bad. Though the cliches are still there. Hell, the entire last episode was based on a cliche. We have Kipo who goes into Jaguar mode. She saves everyone. Then they're all scared she's gonna get trapped as a Jaguar. Then guess what, guys? The most unbelievable thing happens. They all hold hands, join around her, and sing. They sing her favorite song and release her from the Jaguar's grasp. Oh my God! Who would have thought of that? No, just no. We don't need cliches like this. It's just God damn it. You were really pushing for it, weren't you? Ugh. But yeah, so that's basically what I got for Kipo season 2. It's really the bards are only really into cliches. Again, the character development has really improved. In all honesty, I feel like this season, working with these characters, is honestly the best way to have done. Like, it's the best season to have done character development. Now, looking back on it, like when I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, they're doing a really bad job. Looking back on it, they really did a good job. In fact, it's actually quite admirable to an extent. Dr. Emilia is now the villain of season 3. She wants to turn all mutants back into regular animals. And I'm like, okay, but why is she the villain then? Because like that's what everyone is working towards, right? Make the earth turn the earth back to normal, make it what they want was turn all animals into, hey, we turn all mutants back into regular animals. I thought that was the plan. I don't know. And yeah, so she could be a sympathetic. I mean, not sympathetic villain, but she could be more like a like an understanding villain. Those villains who you understand their point of view of. I don't know. We'll see it in season 3. For now, she was just a mean person who was killing everyone. Like seriously, what's your problem? Not that you're the villain. You just kill everything that gives you an inconvenience. No matter how small the inconvenience is, you're like kill it. It really is annoying. But yeah. So those are my thoughts on Kipo season 2. The character development is really well done. The world, it's honestly the best part of this season. The character development is honestly the best part of this season. The world building is well done. The animation is good as always, except when it's nighttime. The what's this? The villain, the cliches, they're a bit too much. I really liked Scarlamine as a villain, and what else can I say? Now I really don't have much left to say. All in all, I would say Kipo season 2 gets about a 9 out of 10 for me. I just really feel like the other characters should have been more developed, and we do understand things better, and not just get told things at face value and then we're told to expect it. You give us more depth, show. Anyways, so that's what I'd give it. Kipo season 1, I feel like it could get like a 7. Season 2 gets like a 9 because of how much better it is. Like it really has adapted to what season 1 was. And then 9 plus 7, that's like 16. Divided by 2, 8. The show gets a total out of 8 out of 10 of 8 out of 10 for me. Not the best show out there because there are definitely better shows, but an 8 out of 10 is good for this show. And season 2 is a step in the right direction. In all honesty, I really hope season 3 becomes the best season of this show. I really hope season 3, really develops what this show was, and I hope season 3 is what blows this show out of the water. As of now, my overall thoughts on it are still, it's overrated. I'm sorry, everyone just loves this show, and I'm just like, what the heck, like I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's good, whatever. To me, I just find it a bit overrated. It's the same problem with Rogue One and Solo. Everyone's just loving Rogue One. I'm just like, okay, it's a bit overrated. And then everyone watches Solo, they're like, ugh, underwhelming. And I'm like, I enjoyed it better than Rogue One. I don't know, maybe my opinion is messed up. You take my opinion with a grain of salt. Anyways, so Kipo is a good show. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, I can recommend it. It doesn't hurt anyone. It's a nice, it's a good looking show. Season 2 really has a stronger story. If anything, I would just advise you to watch season 2 instead of 1. And all in all, yeah, those are my thoughts on Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. It gets a nice 8 out of 10. I still find it a bit overrated. And yeah, can't wait to see what Netflix DreamWorks does next. Really, they've been knocking it out of the park with She-Ra. Then they knock it out with Kipo. Next is supposed to be Wizards, a project that has been held up for far too long. DreamWorks, Netflix, can you get on this as soon as possible? Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video. I've been Captain Phoenix, and with that, I will see you in another universe.